And we're live. Greetings, friends. Happy Sunday. We return to the cutscene commentary, live commentary, chapter 4. Odog, glad you're here, friend. I need to talk to you. It seems that Beverly Hills Cop is no longer available for free. It is behind a Paramount paywall. So we missed the window. It'll come up again at some point, I'm sure. And we can do it then. In the meantime, unsure what we are going to be watching for next Saturday at this point.
So, how you get on? I've been asking around about Mr. Bronte.
Bruce Lee didn't do as well as I thought it would on the replays, which is disappointing. I'm not going to lie. I mean, who doesn't love Bruce Lee? Modern YouTube, I guess. I don't know what kind of movies these unruly bastards want to watch, but not the movies I like. David, welcome, friend. How are you? Happy Sunday. We are back at the cutscene commentary. David, what's for dinner?
Hey, you got a cigarette, mister?
Maybe.
At any rate, I'll find a movie for us. You know, I'm stubborn, and we're gonna keep watching movies I like,
We'll take you to
because this channel is pretty much all about what I like
$5.
and my passions.
Where's he live? New York?
Odog says, obviously not what we love. Yeah, who doesn't love Bruce Lee? I enjoyed it. I personally enjoyed it.
This way. Let's go, mister.
It's just not doing well it's not doing as even Hitchcock did better than Bruce Lee, which is very confusing to me.
Give me my things, boy.
What are you talking about, friend?
I ain't your friend, but that kid is. He robbed from me. Now give me
At
my
any rate,
stuff and take me to Angela
Let's move on.
Senor Bronte.
We're back in chapter 4. I hate these kids. I really wish we could shoot them. First playthrough, I really wanted to shoot them. David, pasta Alfredo with broccoli and bacon. I love that.
Mr. Bronte's
And
got a lot
Odog
of
had
friends,
beef
mister,
stew
but
and a little rice
I ain't
with
never
cornbread.
seen you.
I love that as well.
Friends.
What
You
did I
don't
have?
like
I don't
no
even
one,
remember right
mister.
now. Oh, I had a breakfast
Mr. Bronte,
sandwich.
he's
It
got
was
fine
potato.
He got a
It was
beautiful
hash
house,
browns,
and I am proud
hash
to
brown
work
scramble with
He got 50 men,
bacon
mister. Why
and
you
cheddar
don't care a thing
cheese
about you?
I just want
and
to speak.
cabbage
I'm
of all
sure
things.
you
It was
do,
delicious.
mister. You and them friends of yours been asking about 'em all
On a
over
bun.
town. Keeping mighty disrespected.
On a toasted bun.
Bunch of muddy Yankees in town
I was
asking
very happy.
questions. Well, you and your
Sadie's
friends
here.
should pay him a
She's
visit,
tired.
mister. He's got a big house on Flavian Street opposite the park.
Hey, yo.
David says, sounds good, Moondoggy.
Get out of here.
We should ask Serena what she eats. What do you eat in Australia besides kangaroo steaks and shrimp? 8 viewers in the chat. Welcome, welcome, friends.
Where you been? Getting robbed? Who by?
Odog says, yeah, my best friend cooks well.
I won't inquire.
Yeah, I'm not a great cook.
Bronte.
It's never really interested me. And
Everybody knows him.
I enjoy eating out.
To talk about him. Apparently lives in a big house on Flavian Street opposite the park. Good work. What now?
I can make oatmeal.
Him a visit. I'll get John. You meet
Oh yeah, I had some oatmeal also this morning with chopped almonds, raisins, and blueberries. And that meant Sadie had some oatmeal this morning with chopped almonds and blueberries, but not raisins.
I cannot decide.
Odog says she's fantastic and pretty and stacked. And she can cook. I'm very happy about that. I'm very happy for your friend. You are fortunate and blessed. A fortunate son. David says, everyone hit that like button. Thank you, David. I appreciate it. And he's absolutely right. We are at Angelo Bronte's mansion. We did not take a bath. I do love Angelo Bronte's smoking jacket and that hat he wears.
Why do you take
Bit
his
of
son?
old world charm
Excuse me.
in Saint Denis.
I
said.
Odog says, I had some oatmeal yesterday. Apple cinnamon flavored with a banana, blueberries, and raspberries. Yeah, I'd eat that. I like bananas. Sadie likes bananas. David says, meatball subs tomorrow and steak and baked potatoes on Wednesday. You've got it all planned out. I wish I was coming over to your house because both those sound delicious. Now I want a meatball sub. What's not to like? J Nux, greetings friend, happy Sunday. Says, good evening, this is my first time catching a live stream. Thank you for the good commentary and content. I admire your dedication to this game. I am working hard to perfect the game on Steam. Well, good luck to you, friend. Appreciate you being here. Happy Sunday. To me, this is a perfect game. I can't think of a better one to date. The Witcher, although The Witcher 3 comes close, but even The Witcher 3, I was which I will admit has better crafting than this game. I still found myself missing Arthur. Also, we're currently doing a Red Dead 1 playthrough, which I gotta admit, you know, we made it to Blackwater, but if it weren't for this channel, I probably wouldn't finish the game. I'd just go back to Arthur because I'm not enjoying it half as much as I do this game. This now 6-year-old game. Odog says, barbecued ribs, collard greens, and sweet potatoes and cornbread for tomorrow. Already in fridge from my sister. Sweet potatoes and cornbread sounds delicious. And of course, barbecued ribs are my favorite. David says, anytime, my friend, anytime. Appreciate that, David. You know, I was at a cousin's barbecue. I brought the dog, and she had never had barbecued ribs before, to my knowledge. And he had ribs, you know, just big, long ones, like perfect dog size. But I don't want to give her cooked bones. So I finished a rib, and there was still, you know, shreds of meat on it, and I assumed that she would just like suck on it and just like nibble off the meat. So I held it firmly in one hand and she was sitting below me, of course, and let her rip. And I heard the most horrifying bone crunching sound, which sounds exactly like the movies. And yeah, she just like immediately crunched it up, and I had to like dig out these bone shards out of her mouth, and everyone laughed at me. It was pretty funny. Odog says, just call me Porky Pig. I'm full just thinking of it. Yeah, cornbread and sweet potatoes sounds great. I love both those items on their own. How could they not be great together? And it never even occurred to me to make them together. Note Jack's new fancy Saint Denis outfit. And I hate to mention it, but I'm sure Angelo Bronte gave him a bath. Arthur on the Gold Turkoman. That's how you know this is an early playthrough. Odog says soul food. Yeah, it's like I don't think I've ever been to a soul food restaurant. I'm racking my brain to think if I've ever come across. Yeah, I don't. You know, I'm not familiar with the cuisine.
You got him.
David said Kodak had his first burger last night. Plain burger, no salt. Yeah, and I'm sure he ate it in one gulp.
I got my son back.
It's amazing how fast dogs can eat. It's a survival mechanism from the days when they were a wolf pack.
Can I go play now?
Odog says, we gotta find one, friend. Yeah, I know.
We met Mr. Bronte.
You'd think there'd be a soul food restaurant in Saint Denis. I mostly go to the Jade Dragon. Perhaps out in Le Gras. I will try it during the day and see if there's any restaurants available.
Be with your family. Arthur, thank you. Boys, we got some work to do. Interesting work. But first, let's have a drink. We got Jack back.
Well,
It's just water. Water with 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. Excellent for the digestion.
I don't know how to say it.
David says she just ignored John too. Yeah. Well, she's focused on her son, and she's not ready to accept
Go be with your family.
John as a father, even though this is the moment where John
Hello, Mary Beth.
accepts responsibility.
Arthur?
I love this
How are you?
scene with
Well, I'm well, I think.
with Mary Beth and Arthur, where they share a cigarette. It's so intimate,
So, no regrets?
Regrets for
without
Well, for
you know,
joining us.
it's just a nice little flirty,
what? If you're a
romantic,
girl without means in this
smokery
world, life
moment.
is very scary. You boys cared for me before no one cared for me. Well, life weren't very nice, Arthur. Not after Mama
before we
got
get to the
typhoid.
action.
That was a long time ago.
Sure.
What about you? I heard you ran into that Mary girl.
Yep.
She asks about
And?
Mary. Of course she does.
Got me thinking how that all ended. Long time
Odog
ago
says Donnie's
now.
Barbecue Smokehouse Soul
What
Food
happened?
Express in Waipahu. Okay, okay, Odog.
Love me
I
enough,
will
yes.
I will make a note of that.
I wouldn't change.
Well, she was a fool, Arthur.
Well, she put a lot of good years in on an outlaw. She definitely was a fool.
In these books, life seems so simple, but
There you go, friend.
in reality, I can't make head nor tail of it.
Mr. Morgan.
The
Mr.
internet
Morgan,
is a
we have
wonderful
problem.
thing.
A real problem. It's Tilly.
What?
She's been taken.
I
by
love
that
how
older brother she used to run with. Come
Miss
on.
Grimshaw just elbows Mary Beth out of the way.
Well, I don't
Doesn't
know
have time
what
for
they've
Mary
been
Beth.
doing here,
She has to
but
go
I can
get
tell you
one
what
of her
they're going
birds,
to be doing
one of her
here.
flock.
Dying.
Sure. Do we need more guns?
You and I can handle this, Arthur.
You and I can handle this, Arthur.
I'll tell you on the
She
way.
knows her way around a cattleman.
Just get going.
It's okay, Miss Tilly.
And it's over. It's all over.
I thought there was.
He promised to keep her safe.
It don't matter what you thought. It's okay. All right, let's go.
Oh, come along, miss. Thank you, both of you.
What happened?
It was
She's
Anthony
kind of
Foreman. He thinks he owns me.
singed
I
because
remember.
we
Where
used
is he?
explosive
We went
rounds
out hunting or
on
something.
that guy.
There were 5 of them, I think.
Well, we killed those fellas there.
There they are.
Come on.
Tilly, grab that gun. Anyone
And the free
approaches,
leopard
shoot 'em.
Appaloosa.
Oh, don't worry, I'll be just fine. Now catch that bastard.
Miko, greetings, friends.
So he's still
Says
alive
none of the
then?
other girls like Mary.
Yes.
Well, yeah,
See this girl?
they don't approve of her at all.
She killed my cousin.
Your
How are you-
goddamn
how are
cousin
you,
had it
Miko?
coming,
Happy
Anthony
Sunday.
Foreman. I don't care if she
What
shot
did you
your
have for
daddy and
dinner?
cooked your mama for breakfast.
Or breakfast.
She's mine. She ate yours.
David says I usually take turns killing the fares her once, then me.
Fool's game. Now, you want all your boys dead? She
And
had a
Odog is looking up
family, Tilly Jackson.
soul food restaurants
Family I won't.
Kill him, Arthur.
in Hawaii for some reason.
I want him to
I'm
go
not
away
sure why,
and tell
but
the
it's
remaining
I'm
of his
happy that
cousins
he
and the clowns
is
he
doing
rides
some
with
research.
to leave me alone.
Now, you think
David
you
says
can do
first
that?
guy LOL. Odog says two that sound good.
Slit your throat.
Two that sound good with good reviews. Okay, yeah, I'll check.
History.
If I know anyone in Hawaii, I will recommend them to him.
History is never done. It's your call, Arthur.
Well done, Odog. Thank
Slit
you,
his
sir.
throat.
Appreciate it.
Go on.
And I always kill Anthony Foreman. I've never. I think I spared him once, just so he could do the bounty for the channel.
We can't take no
And it's
chances with
you
the
know
likes
it's
of
I
you.
don't even know where that footage is. It's on the channel somewhere. But you can't let him live. I don't want him to be a threat to Miss Tilly, even though he won't ever be a threat to Miss Tilly ever again.
Nothing?
I don't believe you.
It's just a little
Optional
robbery,
side
right?
mission with
Nothing
Lenny.
serious.
Good. What are you robbing?
One of the last, if you know what I mean.
There's a
Odog
stage
says, we've got to get you some soul food, my guy. I know what you mean.
Bunch of money, a bullet.
I appreciate you, Odog, and you are absolutely correct. It is a cuisine I need to explore. Top Hat XD says, hello. Greetings, friend.
Investigating?
Happy Sunday, Top Hat. I'm glad you're here. Miko says, happy weekend, Super Antonio. Hello, everyone. I'm good. It's Monday over here. Not sure yet what I'll have for brunch.
Huge huge take, but
Miko,
I should make
like
that okay.
Serena, lives in the
No such
future.
thing as unprotected.
David says, look in Saint Denis. I will, David.
Where you wanna go?
I'm sure there's something near Le Gras.
I guess
Now?
I don't need no hand-holding offer.
Oh, come on, kid.
One of the
If we decide to do it once we've had
final
taken it.
interactions with Lenny, if you know what I mean. So enjoy it.
You alive?
Yeah. Are you?
Evidently.
That
And they
is
were-
not
they
the
were
way
set
I
up
was
again.
expecting things to go.
You took us into a trap.
Look, I'm telling you, it was good information. Wait. Look. Look, there's some money here. Not much.
Yeah, it ain't much, 'cause it was a trap. Stage companies do this all the time. Set up traps to catch fools
Shit.
like you and me.
I feel like a fool.
Well, that's good, 'cause you are a fool. You're still alive, so don't worry too much about
How's the in-game audio, chat?
it. Get out of here before any more turn up.
All right. See you back at camp.
Sure, old man.
Now we need some free alligator eggs.
Oh, I'm sorry. How you getting on?
Bored. You see that swamp, Arthur? That's God's.
And how was everyone's Sunday?
What are we eating? Venison? Come on.
We
let's go
gave
gather some
Sadie a
crawfish.
bath last night, so she's still clean
Crawfish.
and
Finest
soft.
eating there is. It's not just crawfish.
No,
And
there's monsters out there. that'll
you know, as
eat a
usual,
feather for fun.
worked on the Red Dead,
I thought
worked
you
on the
were a
Red Dead
man.
playthrough.
Sir,
Walked the
when it
dog.
comes to prehistoric monsters,
Did I get any
I am
exercise
very
in?
much a coward.
Apart from walking the dog, I don't think I worked out, which is disappointing. But
That was fun.
I was focused on.
Must get out.
I was in gamer
Your
mode.
idea of fun, is it?
We made it to Blackwater. We tried to lasso Bill because we killed Javier. I think we better redo both those missions
Some of those eggs.
because we were supposed to deliver Javier alive.
Hey, maybe
And,
you can hatch that, get yourself a new friend.
That fort is so circuitous and maze-like that
Place Mike, I suppose.
he was already out the door and I was losing patience, so I just shot him. So we need to get him alive, and I think Bill dies either way.
Come on! If we're gonna make it to this party, we sure as shit better clean up a little.
So we're doing
But we made
this?
it to Blackwater, and then I visited Beecher's Hope just to see what it was like, and it's a dump right now. It's all closed up, looks abandoned. If you were on a first playthrough just exploring, you would have no idea the significance of Beecher's Hope.
Son of a bitch.
Serena, greetings, friend. Starheart says, hi, Antonio. Sorry I'm late, and hi, everyone. Everyone say hello to Serena. Appreciate you being here, friend. Happy Sunday or Monday. Serena, we were wondering what you had for dinner,
We are here to make real
or what you were having for dinner. Just curious.
find what we can.
I said that it was probably shrimp and kangaroo steaks. Serena says, how are you, Antonio, and everyone? I am great, Serena. I appreciate you, and I'm much better now that you're here. Odog says, and that Javier had to go. He'd look for me. Yeah, John sure did.
After last year's incident.
David and Odog both say hello, Serena. Check your guns at the door,
Luca
please.
here will take you to Mr. Bronte. I believe he is expecting you.
Follow me, gentlemen.
I like how Arthur doesn't pat the the gun check guy on the shoulder. He just gives him a nod. And I don't understand why they took Bill. Anyone, well, I don't suppose you could take Lenny or Javier, but why didn't they take John?
Saint Denis High Society.
Yes, apparently so.
And all these people.
Or it'd have been fun if they moved Kieran up. They gave Kieran a shot. Or they could have taken one of the girls, Mary Beth or Karen,
Like that one. See that wretch? He's the mayor.
put her in a fancy lady dress. Or even Mrs. Adler.
Anything for $1, and I mean anything.
Politics is a
But
foul
Bill is
business.
completely useless
Oh,
here.
that one too. That is Alberto Fusar. He owns a sugar plantation.
Colonel
on the
Fusar,
island.
we shall be
Comes
seeing
to
him
work in this
shortly
port.
on Sunday or Monday.
Oh, and that,
We're continuing with
that
this
is Hobart
the
Glory.
cutscene commentary. it's going to be cutscene commentaries and Red Dead 1 live streams. Unsure what we are going to watch this Saturday. I'll find something. I think I need to find something from this this century. Because so far, the movie views have not been spectacular. I was very disappointed in the Bruce Lee views. Doubly so because who doesn't love Bruce Lee? At any rate, I'll find something for next Saturday. But it'll probably be more modern. Odog says, The Fugitive, that's from the 90s. I think we'll run into the same problem. We can watch it at some point.
Well, I'm willing to help in any way I can. With
Young Harrison Ford. Or not, he wasn't even young then. I'll find something. I love movies. There's always something I either have seen or want to see. We need to like experiment and get something from the 2000s. See if that makes a difference. Beverly Hills Cop will return to free with ads at some point, I'm sure. And I already have the thumbnail, so we'll just do it then. Then the weekend after, we're back to the 80s with Commando, co-hosted by channel member and channel mod David V. And Serena, if you have another movie you would like to watch and co-host on Saturday, let me know.
Well, there's money at the trolley station. They keep a lot of cash there in the day. Now, I could not involve myself in such matters. But you, as a guest, yes.
Also, why would Angelo Bronte invite Dutch to this gala to meet the mayor when he's planning to set him up at the trolley station? Why would he do that? Or maybe he called an audible because he heard how Arthur robbed the mayor.
Thank you, sir.
Maybe he just didn't like him.
I hope you're enjoying my party.
The mayor.
Allegedly.
That's quite a place you got here.
It's not mine, and the city is horribly in debt, but we can still put on a good show. Do you know Evelyn Miller?
Odog says, I know, Davey. That and its sequel was too.
Shall we?
I love these fireworks every time. First playthrough, I know I said I love this game even more. Just for this tiny little moment with fireworks.
Excuse me, brother. Monsieur, please. Mr. Cornwall was quite insistent, I'm afraid. He shouted down the telephone.
Leviticus Cornwall reference. And we are back in the game.
For trusting him. I'll come in and sign it in a minute. Let me enjoy the fireworks.
Of course.
Did you say something about Cornwall? Yes. Find out what.
Yeah, Red Dead 2, Red Dead 1, we're halfway. We're at 50%, almost exactly. In Blackwater, did a couple missions searching for Dutch. We won the revolution in Mexico, or at least both those guys, the general and the revolutionary, Allende, and I don't know who the other guy was. I can't think of his name right now. They're pretty much the same character, just 20 years. You know, there's an age difference, and one's slightly more handsome, but they're both just kind of.
Here comes Lenny. All right, let's get in.
Randy.
I ain't never felt so awkward in all my life.
Ladies'
All them
men
folk all so pleased
who
with
are
themselves.
power hungry.
High society's pigeon shit. If you
Very
ask
rock star.
me,
There's a very rock star moment
Well, that's sort of the
that I need to. I've never edited anything out of this channel, and
Here's them
I'm going to
papers
edit
I took.
what this moment
Let me see you take this.
from Red Dead 1.
Think so.
We're not going to see it. Maybe we'll listen to it, but I will have like some kind of
Think on it.
redacted screen, even though I'm sure it would be allowed on YouTube.
Interesting.
Witcher 3 also had some of those moments,
Yes.
but
So what's
I
next?
believe I left
Pass
them on the
list?
channel. I cannot
More
recall.
along the lines of
That's the
armed
second channel.
robbery. Hosea is handling reconnaissance.
But wow,
He
wasn't
and
expecting
Abigail
that
gonna
at
run some
all.
distractions. See how the law react. Good. Oh,
I'm glad
I spoke
Sadie
to Edwin
wasn't
Miller.
watching.
Fine man. Here helping the Indian chief we saw. Yeah, I met him too with the mayor. He's lobbying officials in San Denis.
Odak and David probably know the
Maybe.
scene I'm talking. Serena
I
also
think
probably
there's a lot
knows
of money on
the
the
scene I'm
riverboat.
talking about. It's in Mexico
Money. And Trelawney, he's investigating
with the
forces.
revolutionary.
Him at the tailors.
One of the
Okay.
cutscenes
One big
before they go off to meet
story
Javier.
out here, Arthur, and we disappear. We are almost heading home.
Used to love Chapter
Where is
4
home?
up to an extent, just because Arthur gets to
Exactly.
live under a roof.
But I can smell it. I'm gonna go investigate this trolley thing old Bronte
I
was
do
talking
enjoy
about.
the story
Okay.
structure way more in Red Dead 2 than Red Dead 1, where each chapter is linked
I know you.
with
Mr.
with a location,
I
and there
believe we
aren't really
met
chapters in
with that
Red Dead
gas in the
1.
park.
It's
Oh,
just mission to mission to
Evelyn
mission to
Miller.
mission.
Unfortunately so.
Search for
Mr.
Javier, search for Bill,
Arthur
then
Moore
Javier,
used sometimes.
and then
Can I say
Dutch.
something rude?
Sure.
It's way more
The
linear
mayor
in
thinks you
Red Dead
robbed
1. And also,
But to be
I've
clear,
said it before,
he wasn't very
way
upset
more
about it.
political.
He rather liked you.
First formal introduction
Do you,
to Rains
I mean to
Falls.
say, can you steal things?
Is there a reason you're asking me to incriminate myself,
And the
Mr.
author,
Miller?
Evelyn Miller.
Well, I'm sorry. Have you met? This is Rains Fall, a great chief, and his son, Eagle Flies.
Gentlemen,
Also, it seems as if Dutch is allied with the Native Americans in the Blackwater sequence of Red Dead 1.
you have
Those are the bad guys,
observation.
or those are his minions. So that's interesting.
People anymore. We've fought hard. We've made peace.
He's
treaties.
always had a soft
Those
spot
treaties were
for
broken.
the Native
And we've been
Americans.
moved and punished and punished and moved.
I'm sure.
And now I am told we are to be moved.
Can you hear Sadie?
Clearly
She's
contravening
snoring.
the peace treaty signed 3 years ago.
This will lead
I
to
don't think the
war.
mic's picking it up.
No, my son, it will not. We cannot fight another war.
She has a very soft
We
snore.
have got stronger, and we have become far weaker, Mr. Morgan.
It's bad business.
It's to do with oil. I know it is, but I need the proof.
David says Graham Greene is always a win.
Were on their land a few months ago, who have filed reports with Leviticus Cornwall and the state
Wasn't he in
government
Little Big
claiming
Man?
huge
Let's see.
reserves of oil under their land.
Let's look him up.
So,
Graham
you want me
Greene.
to try and steal it?
Obviously, they can't. And even more obviously,
He's
I
from
would be
Canada.
useless. Listen, I realize that
Little
it is
Big
a
Man.
ridiculous request, but we're very desperate.
I'm not a do-gooder, Mr. Miller. Gentlemen, I'm
He
very
was in
sorry for predicament.
The Last of Us.
I'm a working man. I got problems of my own.
Is it the TV
We will
show
pay you
or
very handsomely, Mr. Morgan.
the game?
How much?
Told you, they're all mercenaries.
Dances with Wolves.
There's a price on my head in 2 states, my friend.
Yeah, he's your
Government
go-to
doesn't
guy.
like me any more than it does you. Like you, I've been running for as long as I can remember. And like you, my time here is
One
now
Flew Over the
done.
Cuckoo's Nest. Was he chief? Wow.
We understand, and we will.
Brad Dourif was also in
Thank you.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
You meet my son in a couple of days near Citadel Rock.
Brad
just
Dourif,
west of
the
oil
voice
field.
of Chucky,
Okay.
and
very
Grima
grateful for your help.
Wormtongue
Gentlemen,
from The Lord of the
appointment with
Rings.
The senator. We should head over there.
It's a waste of our time.
You would think with a name like that,
We must try everything.
you know, just imagine the name Grima Wormtongue on your resume, on your stack of resumes when you're applying to be,
We've been
you know,
waiting,
chief
I don't know
counselor
how long.
to the king of Rohan.
Like to reschedule?
And
Come.
Grima Wormtongue
Perhaps the senator won't mind
makes the
waiting.
cut.
Sure, what you want?
Brandy.
2 brandies, bud.
It's $2 a glass.
Oh, better be good then.
David B says cuckoos. Yes, I got you. One flew over the cuckoo's nest. One flew east. One flew west. Also, the nurse, big nurse, I cannot recall her name right now, but she had a great role in Deep Space Nine as one of the Kais. She was a really good villain. I guess she's always been really good villains. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Louise Fletcher. Danny DeVito was in it too. And Christopher Lloyd.
How do you say? Old ass.
Asshole.
Wish we could watch that.
That too.
Well, at least you have some sense.
And it was directed by Milos Forman. I know him from Amadeus.
All the civilized world. Painting my little pictures, meeting the locals, you know.
You a painter?
No, I'm a whole ass. I thought
My
we
mother
had
got me that soundtrack
but
for my
Not
birthday.
according to salons at Paris. According to them, I cannot draw. I
She
cannot
always loved
paint, and I
classical
should go
music,
away. So I
opera,
went away.
and
Miss Paris?
so it always, that movie and that soundtrack always reminds me of my mother.
Ghosts and shit and French
Sublime.
people. I have that right here.
I guess so.
You know,
And here's
Arthur.
Charles Chatanet.
you know, Arthur, don't believe in art. It's lies. Believe in women. They're the truth. Art is lies, but the vagina, that is truth. Breasts is truth. Art.
And as Odog pointed out, this is the only kiss Arthur will get in the game,
Much better.
which is funny
So,
and
I,
also
must be
regrettable,
boring you.
lamentable.
Here.
What is it?
It's just a little doodle.
Gets
You know,
this nice
entirely
little racy
worthless
drawing,
unless
though.
You want to wipe your bottom with it, but I wanted to say thank you for the drinks.
Well, that's very kind, Charles.
No matter.
Good meeting you.
I don't mind nudity in art, and I love the female form, of course, like any red-blooded American male. However, it's just not what this channel is about,
I met you.
and it's not what I want this channel to be.
Oh, yes. You saved my life. Oh, I am eternally yours.
And
Algernon
here
Watts,
is
purveyor of
Arthur's
the
best
exotic
friend,
ideas. Is it-
Algernon. Not really. I believe Albert Mason was Arthur's best friend, but
How can I help you? May I interest you in a,
certainly
hat,
Arthur's
perhaps?
fanciest friend.
How about a nymph? I import them from Brussels. The idiots in this town all want Italian nymphs, but the Italians make the coarsest of marble. I mean, quite frankly,
And personally, I would
is
love a
an
nymph.
abomination.
That would look great in my collection.
That is a land for the
I
connoisseur.
have one out in my balcony.
Yeah, as I always say. But, I'm not really a nymph.
There's pictures of it
Oh,
on the
course, too ephemeral.
Instagram.
You want something,
I'll put another one up,
more
perhaps.
tangible, more gothic. I also make corsets. Would you like a corset? I always wear one.
No.
Note the
I don't think
monocle.
so. Yeah, I ride a lot of horses. The whalebone might stick in.
Quite elegant, even for Saint Denis standards.
And
Wonder
is
what
it
kind
you
of
do,
horse he
Mr.
rides. I bet he rides in
Are
a
you
carriage.
gentleman of leisure? An aesthete?
Doesn't even bother with a horse.
Artist.
I suppose I'm kind of an adventurer.
Ha!
And
Of course,
Arthur
of
stays
course.
for
Be
tea,
careful with the china.
like he
sir,
did with
this
Miss
French-
Penelope Braithwaite.
No. They are Philistines in that area, not to be trusted. Youth, eternally preserved in marble, is more their specialty. I fear China will always elude them. Now, why are you here exactly?
I don't know.
You're an adventurer, a wanderer, a lost soul cast out from heaven?
Sure.
Well, I do pay exceptionally well for certain objects.
There's
needed
about
for
2
my
hours and 8 minutes of cutscenes in chapter
exceptionally well.
4, which we're watching tonight.
Let's see.
And Guarma in chapter 5 is probably
At
less than an
least
hour,
50.
like 48 minutes. So it's going to be a
15
short
assorted
stream
orders.
tomorrow.
Here's a list.
And then chapter 6,
I will see what I can
interestingly,
do. Thanks
has
for the
the
tea.
longest amount of
Thank you,
cutscenes at
Tacitus.
around
It'll be very worth your while.
almost 3 hours. It's like 2 hours and 48 minutes. Serena says, hi. Serena says, it's Monday, 2:35 p.m. in the afternoon. Okay, Serena, what are you going to have for dinner?
Hey, he's gonna do right
Serena
by
says,
his
I don't
fellow
eat
wild-
kangaroo meat, having hot dogs for dinner. I know, I was just teasing you.
Look, I have an exhibit at the gallery. You come, see
I
what
imagine it would taste like venison, like deer meat. But I don't know. What do What do kangaroos eat? I assume they're vegetarian.
Are nothing but shysters and traitors and
So if they're grass-fed.
I'm inclined to agree.
Here, help me please. Back to work.
I've never had kangaroo. I've had ostrich and rattlesnake and bear and I think those are the most exotic meats I've eaten apart from frog legs. Serena says, I love chips, any steak with mashed potatoes and veggies and gravy. Yummy, LOL. Yes, I do too. I'd eat all that.
Hello? Do I look like I should entertain children?
Marco Dragic. I love how Marco Dragic calls Arthur Big Nuts.
I am the savior of the mankind, buddy. Yes, you meet him. Professor Marco Dragic.
And first playthrough, I was really charmed by this live-action 3D arcade game.
So, what's this toy about?
Serena says, I do like hot chips. You know who probably also likes hot chips? Hortus. Are you thinking hot as in spicy or hot as in temperature, Serena?
Yes, it is a toy boat that I can power remotely using electricity and
Yeah, Rockstar snuck in an arcade game.
Ways I cannot see.
Still,
Regrettably, you can only do it once.
Ladies, please. Ladies, gentlemen.
And here come the investors. Serena says, it's a miserable day. Finally raining here. Cool down. Be hot again Wednesday or Thursday. I'm sorry to hear that, Serena. I hope I'm sure you'll survive it, though. Frodo Swaggin says, good evening, all. Good evening, Frodo. Appreciate you being here. Mr. Frodo, David V says. I was just talking about Grima Wormtongue.
Using waves you cannot see.
So, I'm glad you showed up, Frodo Swaggin.
And this buffoon dressed up like a buffoon.
Also, I met Elijah Wood one time, not at a con. I met him socially at a party. Don't ask for details. I'm not going to tell you. One of the tiniest men I've ever met, even for a hobbit. He had like tiny feet. Seriously, his feet were like that wide, and they were in the most beautiful pair of boots I've ever seen in my life. I have no idea. They look like they cost as much as a car. I was impressed, but I was also just fascinated by how tiny his feet were, like girl size. Serena says, I have been looking through, haven't seen anything yet. What movie, Antonio? I will keep looking. Any movie you like, any movie you've seen before, any movie that you would like to co-host on the Saturday movie stream. Just, any movie you think I'd like to see that you like. But that's the point. You pick the movie.
Thank you.
What is that?
It is the stuff of life, sir.
It's incredible.
No.
And we'll do it.
Incredible things are in my lab, back at Dover Hill.
David says, High Plains Drifter.
All of you. Mr. Marcel.
That is a great movie, David.
Well, this is expensive.
There are some Clint Eastwood movies that are available.
It is very cheap. Perhaps
Two Mules for Sister Sarah and
I'm gonna go.
Oh, yeah, of course.
and what's Paint Your Wagon? Paint Your Wagon is a musical, a cowboy musical set in the 60s, but it stars Clint Eastwood, and Clint Eastwood sings in that movie. Frodo Swaggin says, it's good to have power back on after almost 2 days and watch the Packers win their playoff game today. Odog says, Star Wars, sad emoticon. Well done, Frodo. Appreciate you got your power back, and go Packers.
Wilson J. McDaniels, wanted for murder, bigamy, and immoral animal husbandry.
Serena says, I've uploaded another video, my beautiful friends. I believe I saw it in my feed. We'll probably watch it tomorrow. We as in me and the dog. And here's Brother Dorkin, setting Arthur on a different path. The path to redemption in Red Dead Redemption 2.
You may have made some poor choices, but which of us hasn't?
You have no idea.
But you do. And God does, and that's enough for me and for him.
Odog, do you follow the Packers? Do you like the Packers?
But why don't you hedge your bets and
David says to Serena, I seen it. Always great stuff. That's for you, Serena.
Sure.
Drop a like on Serena's video.
Bless you.
Drop a view and a like.
How you getting on, anyhow?
I rely on Serena for all things Red Dead Online and Grand Theft Auto Online.
My mentor
She is our Red Dead Online correspondent.
to induce apathy in people.
It's a wonderful insight. He must be a wise man, your mentor.
Well, sometimes he's a downright
That way I know what's going on and I can talk about it with some degree of facility and knowledge.
Well, poverty will always be with us.
Serena says, thanks, David. Was GTA story mode? Odog says, only when they play those bitch-ass cowboys. Though he had redacted the ass,
You should take a look for yourself.
the asterisk
I've heard that the
cowboys.
pawnbroker down the block around the corner, the one with the green door, well, they say he sells more than forlorn trinkets.
Brother
Dorkin's friend.
Arthur Morgan. Come on. You were right.
And we let those guys go. Human trafficking in Saint Denis.
Well, they are blessed to have met you, Arthur.
Trust me in that. They're very unusual. I don't think they speak much English.
My brothers, come. Let's go get something to eat. Manger.
This mission is available all day and all night, but I do enjoy that golden Saint Denis sunset that we have during the cutscene.
For your services.
David says we play Green Bay next week. You know, I believe
Thank you. I will.
66% of the mods tonight are football fans.
I often work at the old church on Gasper Street in St. Francis.
Serena may be a European football fan, but I don't think they play football in Australia. See, Serena just asked, what's Green Bay, David? They're talking about American football, Serena. Odog says, we play Buffalo Monday. Gonna get killed. Frodo Swaggin says, this may have been answered, but I'll ask anyway. Where, when can we submit for the viewer horse show you mentioned? I haven't really talked about that. I will get a video out explaining all of that. Probably in the next couple of weeks, maybe maybe this week, actually. I should work on it this week. Short answer, you can email your horse pictures to reddeadsuperantonio at gmail.com. Make sure they're horizontal. David V says, Green Bay Packers, American football. And Serena says, okay, thanks, David. Serena, the Green Bay Packers wear slices of cheese on their heads. Not real cheese, of course. Big foam, triangular cheese hats. Odog says, Star Hearts, Green Bay is a city in the far north of the USA, in Wisconsin. Yes, Serena, Wisconsin is famous for their cheese. America's dairy. Serena says, okay, thanks, Odog. Egypt, at one point, to bring the conversation back to the Roman Empire, was known as the breadbasket of Rome. Because of all the, they planted up and down the Nile. David says, Steelers fan dog, and Odog says, yep.
But his passing is peaceful.
I should pick a team to follow so I can participate in this conversation. Perhaps the Saint Denis Saints. Frodo Swaggin says, also famous for having 17 out of 20 for the drunkest cities in America, LOL. That I did not know, Serena. He's talking about Wisconsin. Well, there's probably not much to do because it's so darn cold up there.
Hello?
And back to Marco we go.
Anybody here? Hello?
If you are here to rob me, I wish to make clear that
Had to really punch up the contrast because this the video footage was so dark, but I really like that green glow that we got.
Professor, I ain't here to rob you.
Serena says, does anybody know when Grace Lansing DLC? You can ask the chat. Serena, no idea.
The buffoon.
Hello. I hope I'm not disturbing you.
Serena, did you finish Red Dead 1? Are you going to put it up? I got to Blackwater, and I have to admit, I'm kind of bored. I probably wouldn't finish if we didn't have the channel. Serena says, be here on Red Dead Online. Brian Walker says, hello, Brian Walker. Greetings, friend. Happy Sunday. Appreciate you being here. We are doing the cutscene commentary series live in Red Dead Redemption 2. Chapter 4. Here's Marco. Frodo Swaggin says, I wish Rockstar would move more online exclusive horses to story mode. Yeah, I agree. I agree, Frodo. It's in your game files. It's already there. It's basically free content. They could even charge a fee for it. I'd pay it. I'd be happily pay it. Micah T says, hi. Greetings, Micah. Happy Sunday. Serena says there's a picture of her, that Miss Leclerc, but no missions yet. I'm sure it will. Perhaps you need to update your PS4, Serena. This is hi Brian, hi Micah.
Second time lucky, eh?
Second time? More like 7,000. This is my life's work. It is incredible. Watch.
And I love that purple neon glow that brings the automaton to life for a brief moment.
What is it?
It is life itself.
Also note, Marco calls this robot my son. He sees it as his son, which makes the moment when Arthur finds him later on the top of the snowy mountain calling out for Papa all the more poignant.
Is that it?
For now. I am so...
And that scene is not in this in this video because it's not a cut scene.
You just saw creation's second...
Though I thought about including it anyways.
I just saw a machine waddle a few steps.
I have a son. I am the luckiest man alive.
Micah says, I believe Marco is based on Nikola Tesla, and I believe you are correct, Micah.
I'll see you later.
Brian Walker says, hard to believe Red Dead Redemption 2 is almost 5 years old. I remember playing it on release week and beating it a few days later. Yeah, I've been playing since game release. I've loved this game since chapter 1 of the first playthrough.
Well, I trust.
Frodo Swaggin says, Drashik is essentially a cross between Dr. Frankenstein and Nikolai Tesla, right? I would agree, Frodo. Excellent observation.
Oh, she was the most beautiful woman in all of Italy. A Neapolitan pearl, even
A steampunk Dr. Frankenstein.
Bellissima. Quite astonishing.
There's a great portrayal of Nikolai Tesla from
Algernon, I whispered to
from that Christopher Nolan movie starred portrayed by David Bowie, one of my favorite favorite singers.
That's what I
Called The
murmured to myself,
Prestige.
and
I don't know if you saw that.
No, sir, I was quite right.
Frodo Swaggin says, adding on to what Micah said, LOL. Yeah, we can discuss. We can have a discussion on any subject, Red Dead related or not. I'm happy to talk. It's kind of like
I'm fine with cash.
it's kind of like talk radio. You guys are the callers. You call in, talk about whatever you want.
Quite a particular list, but once again, I will make it worth.
Micah says, I don't know who Algernon is based on.
It's a little something I'm making for
He's
the,
just a fancy gentleman from Saint Denis.
You know how she is.
Oh, very demanding.
Dreadfully so. The best
Though he has a little bit of an Oscar Wilde vibe, but he looks nothing like Oscar Wilde.
You busy?
No, what?
Fella sold me these plans.
Oh, what do you gotta ask him
This
for,
is the
Charles?
ultimate game,
He's just
ultimate
gonna make
edition
a big
exclusive
drama
bank
out of it.
robbery.
You know he will. Drama out of what?
Only the easiest little bank score ever got taken.
Well, I don't like robbing banks now.
You like complaining, whining.
But it has one of my favorite lines, shut up, I'll make you whine.
Arthur's good. He's the best man we got. And this is easy.
It's coming up.
Complains a lot.
What is it?
Turns out there's a big weakness in the building. They replaced a window to improve security, but the bricks are real weak.
So?
The vault.
Micah T says, I thought he had an accent for some reason. He does.
It's an open secret in town, due to be fixed any day, apparently.
We got enough explosives?
I don't think so.
Frodo Swaggin says, this heist is so anticlimactic. Well, yeah.
Just no whining.
But it's fun to hang out with Charles.
Shut up. I'll make you whine.
Oh, give me this.
Frodo Swaggin says, not nearly as good as the Valentine one. Yeah, that's one of the highlights of Chapter 2.
There's the bank. Just there.
Yes, Micah,
This way.
Algernon has what you call a mid-Atlantic accent. It's what they taught. You were taught to speak like that in prep schools back east. Pretty much up to the 50s.
It's time.
Classic examples are Katharine Hepburn and Cary Grant. Most of the newscasters from you know the 50s, from the 20s to the 50s, spoke with that accent.
That boy over there, he's a guard for sure.
I'll go deal with him.
Silently, please.
Just means he went to private schools back east, which makes sense for Algernon.
Let's go, gentlemen. Quick. Coming. Let's go.
Hey, hold up a moment, fellas. See? Easy.
Mr. Maddie
How'd we do? We did
asks,
okay,
what's
I
your
think.
favorite film of 2023? I have no idea. I have to do a research on that, Mr. Maddie. I'll tell you my favorite TV show is Reacher from 2023. Reacher season 2, I believe. Let's see, 2023 movies. What have I watched? And Mr. Maddie, greetings. Saltburn, Oppenheimer,
I'm looking for
Napoleon.
the mayor.
Yes, please. Mr. Kilgore, or what was it?
I forget.
Quite.
Maestro.
Welcome to government. Democracy.
Equalizer
It's an
3.
idea, huh? Monsieur Lemieux?
House of Spies. It was a house full of spies. I'm just reading out Google movies that were released this year. Evil Dead Rise. I hated that.
You are not going to rob me again, are you?
So I have seen some modern movies. Expendables 4, didn't see it. Saw 10, didn't see it. Last Voyage of the Demeter. I haven't seen it, but I wanted to. Insidious, The Red Door.
They won't hear anything
Ghosted,
about you from
Dungeons
me.
and Dragon.
But
Yeah, there's always a bug.
Uh,
of course, I'm a politician.
Indiana Jones. There was Renfield.
Savages merely
I saw
force
Renfield with
Ridiculous killing.
with Nicolas Cage. I would have to say Renfield was my favorite movie from 2023, though I
I'm sure you
though I
can.
kind of
Now, it's all very
strongly dislike
You see, I've been trying to open a
that
major
girl.
museum,
What's that
a
girl's
place
name?
of culture to elevate people's souls. And what do museums need? Art. And how do you buy
Aquafina.
art?
I don't know.
I buy art of some nasty
Kinda
little
don't
man
like her
from Paris selling me
to
some destitute
a very
aristocrat's
large
collection of
extreme.
old
And I think she
masters
was completely
that
wrong
turns
for the
out he
role.
may have been painting himself.
Ouch.
Ouch indeed. But these are good paintings.
Where are
I
we in the
can't make a
chat?
difference.
Okay.
I'm French.
Brian Walker says, honestly, I prefer the Valentine Bank job. I'm kind of fine that I didn't play the mission on Xbox. Frodo Swaggin says, mine was Oppenheimer. Yeah, I love Christopher Nolan. Serena says, I mean hot chips, not spicy. I can't eat spicy food. I'm allergic. I break out in a rash. I'm not allergic, but I also do not enjoy spicy food. Serena. Frodo says, but I'm a history teacher, so I'm biased on that. I love history, Frodo Swaggin. That's good to know. My favorite historical areas are, of course, the Roman Empire, especially the Romans in Britain and the Civil War. Mr. Matty says, currently watching Napoleon, funnily enough. And Mr. Matty says, had to pause it though. Odok says, Equalizer for me. Shout out to Denzel. And Serena says, hi, Mr. Matty.
I see that now. The thing is, now people are going to look at those paintings and love them. So
Yeah, I haven't, it's like I wait for movies to come on Amazon. I have Amazon Prime. So,
So you're going to send the mayor what he
so I try to watch them just because they're modern, and usually I will just check out because I am completely disappointed in the state of modern American cinema. The last movie I've seen in the theater was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's the last one. I checked out after that.
Turns out all those paintings were real after all. Problem solved.
Micah says, most history teachers I've had were always the coolest. That's for you, Frodo Swaggin. But with a name like Frodo Swaggin, how can he not be cool?
Oh, my lord. This is not right.
Trust me, I've done much worse.
We shall burn in hell for this.
Here's hoping.
Here. The mayor asked me to give you this.
Mr. Matty says, I bought Oppenheimer on Blu-ray and saw it in my home theater. What an experience. Yeah, with the rise of home theaters and high-definition TVs, it's... Regrettably, movie theaters are on the way out. They're getting super expensive.
How are you?
There's a lot of rude people. That shared movie experience is completely gone.
Joined high society. My lord above.
Ghost Yoda.
I think my days in
That's a
polite
great
society
username,
were
friend.
over.
Says, I woke up earlier than usual, and that's how I'm watching this. Anyways, Chapter 4 is super underrated, but also short. Yeah, bad things happen in Chapter 4, Ghost Yoda, if you know what I'm talking about. Appreciate you being here. Happy Sunday. Odog says, all mine did was teach half-truths. Talking about history teachers, I assume. But I guess that's the way it is. Mr. Matty says, I did see Wonka and Barbie in theaters. Both great films and fun times. Well, it's good to have that recommendation. Appreciate that, Mr. Matty.
I think we can hit it.
Micah says, do you think drive-in movie theaters could make a comeback? No, I don't think so.
Is it just you and me?
No, we'll need one more, I reckon.
Just, I mean, they're just like...
Not Micah.
Just in terms of like a retro experience, a retro nostalgia experience. I love in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood that Cliff lives behind a drive-in theater.
What is that?
Also, I had some Bruce Lee trivia that I forgot to mention that proved that in my mind, that the Bruce Lee sequence in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was affectionate teasing of Bruce Lee by Quentin Tarantino, because the movie that Sharon Tate watches Margot Robbie in the movie theater with her bare feet, with her dirty bare feet, is the Wrecking Crew. And do you know who was the stunt/fight coordinator on that movie? Bruce Lee.
Mr. Swanson.
Just so you know, everything connects. I love that about Quentin Tarantino.
Of course.
Odog says, have 3 or 4 drive-ins in Alabama. And Serena says, I'm having sausage roll for afternoon tea. Have no idea what that is, but it sounds delicious, Serena. Mr. Maddie says, have you seen the Blade Runner films? Yes, indeed. I have them both on Blu-ray. I have the original Blade Runner in 4K. If you have seen what I have seen with your eyes. And fiery the angels fell. Oh, so many great lines from that movie. Blade Runner is a perfect movie.
We got work. Shall we?
Yep.
Also, Joy from Blade Runner 2. I love that relationship she had with Kay, I believe his name was. It's just a replicant and an AI falling in love. I love that. Micah says, have you seen the Taken films? Yes, Micah, I have. I do have a special skill set when it comes to watching movies.
Oh, it's the Contessa. She's insane.
Mr. Maddie says, I like both of them, but I prefer the sequel, given it's probably my favorite film of all time. No, I love old movies. Blade Runner is one of my favorite, certainly in my top 5.
You should have seen me yesterday. I nearly ate the cat. She says such cruel things.
Serena says, no, I haven't finished it. Red Dead 1 halfway through. That's where we are now, Serena.
I don't care about her. She's trained.
We'll be doing another Red Dead playthrough on Friday.
Oh, damn her. It's the aristocracy. It's the old families. It's the last of the old guard. It's the Contessa Tacitus. I love her.
Well, love or not, you owe me for these.
Oh, money, dear boy. I don't give a fig for money. Here,
The Voight Camp
money
empathy test.
This? It's quite a bit.
Enjoy it. Spend it on love.
My favorite moments in Blade Runner is that blimp that just flies across the rainy sky at night with the geisha. He smiles at you.
I plan to declare my love like a god.
Mr. Maddie says, I got Red Dead 1 for Christmas 2022. Started it on it, but never finished it. We're finishing it for this channel. Frodo Swaggin says, for great movie experiences, I got to see all 3 Hobbit films in a row at a theater for when the 3rd one was released. Not as good as Lord of the Rings, but enjoyable nonetheless. Mr. Maddie says, the controls were whack, mostly with horses. Yeah, the controls are super sketchy and twitchy. I describe it as twitchy. The R stick, super twitchy in Red Dead 1. And for Odog and the chat, here comes Arthur's first and only kiss in Red Dead Redemption 2.
They say that is not far enough. It seems to me that they were right.
You know, Frodo Swaggin, I always watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy extended edition during Christmas week. That's one of my Christmas rituals, I guess. I always look forward to it. I've got the extended editions. I've got all the, I've watched all the commentaries and all the DVD extras. Interestingly enough, this one here, she hates the sound of the orcs roaring. That always upsets her. And I wish I could mute it, but I can't. I can't watch it on mute. She does like just the sweeping soundtrack. Gollum's song.
This is the
So
best
sad.
life.
One of my favorites. Oh, I guess we don't get the kiss. Sorry, O-Dog. I would have put it in for you if we had discussed it. Actually, let's make a short out of it. Arthur's only kiss in Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm sure it'll do quite well, given the current state of American pop culture. And that's all I'll say about that on that subject.
Oh,
Yeah,
there you are.
making a note of it right now,
I don't need them anymore.
along with those soul food restaurants in an area of
She's
the country that I have never visited and have no idea. Arthur's only kiss.
I'm so sad.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She left me for a postman. She married a postman.
O-Dog says, no thanks, don't like that punk stuff. We love women here. We sure do, O-Dog. A little too much, if you ask me.
The shame of it. I mean, if
Note
it
the
wasn't
corset.
for this, I could have a postman.
I never noticed that before.
Life is extremely challenging at times.
Tacitus, I want you to kill me.
Huh?
I have a gun.
Tahitian pearls.
Gun.
These are Tahitian pearls.
Well, Tahiti?
Have you been?
Nearly, but I guess we never made it.
It's not for people like us, Tacitus. Please, just kill me.
What? No.
Then give me the gun.
You would think that Algernon would have a fancy holster, a shoulder holster, and a perfectly tailored suit to conceal that very elegant gentleman's gun. Also, you would think that he would have a derringer.
Have to go to Baltimore to see my awful sister.
A derringer with, you know, Tahitian pearls or something, but I really wish we had derringers in this game. 2 shots, close up,
For the orchids.
Thank you.
easily concealable,
I'm too old for love, Tacitus.
but we have throwing knives. I guess that's the same thing. Serena says, I have never done bank robbery with Charles yet. How do you make it spawn? Serena, you need to buy the Ultimate Edition. It's only available on the Ultimate Edition. You can't get a physical copy of it. You could find them on eBay. I'm sure you could get one used.
It's wonderful.
And Arthur gets a fancy hat.
Goodbye, Tacitus. Think of me fondly.
What do you want?
Oh, don't be like that.
This is a good one. Yeah, it always is with you. Until we start getting shot at.
Well, have you ever been shot at by a cow?
Whose cows?
This drunken rancher up at Hill Haven Ranch. He's such a flop that we could take a whole
This
march
farmer
of men
has
up
either
there
a
and see him.
Springfield or a
Still
rolling
wouldn't
block.
wake up.
I don't
And
recall
he's a
which.
son of a bitch. He said unkind things about me.
That you can get him to drop, but
This could be my mate.
there's no reason to wait that long to get either of
I need
those
you.
weapons.
You know those 2 bastards that buy stolen livestock.
I mean, you get them in Chapter 2,
I don't like them.
I'll give you 60%
but you
of
cannot
the
get it
total
early. You
money
can
cow.
only get it during this mission, I believe.
No small herd, I guess.
I suppose we could go look.
20, huh? Come on.
But I don't want to play any Red Dead 2 because
Well, hey there.
I don't want to lose my Red Dead 1 reflexes.
Well, I can see that.
David says Carcano. Oh, okay, he's got a Carcano.
I can give you $50.
Yeah, but we have a fancy Carcano already from Josiah Trelawney in Chapter 3. So it would only be worth it if we could get it in Chapter 2, which I've never tried and which would make a great video, I suppose.
But I got costs.
150.
75 and not a dollar more.
100. And I don't shoot you.
So menacing. Clyde, pay your friend here.
Clyde's in charge of the money. Or Clyde holds on to the money. While Clive does the negotiation and all the talking. Clay, I mean.
Of course. Like I told you, easy.
Sure.
Clay and Clive.
I'm headed home. You coming?
Nah, I'll see you later.
And the moon is made of women's tears.
Thanks for the help.
I used to be so annoyed by tripping this cutscene. There's no way around it.
Okay. So, what do you need?
Look at these gents
Wait
over
there.
Arthur's shoulder.
I'm coming straight down.
Also note how Arthur wore his new fancy Saint Denis hat, so he could fit in with all the fancy gents in Saint Denis.
Arthur,
Hello, Mary.
you came.
Sure. Whenever you call for me, I'll come.
This scene has one of my
Arthur.
favorite and saddest moments
What's wrong?
in the game, where
Daddy.
Mary asks him to run away
I'm a
with
bigger
him,
fool than
and
I
Arthur
ever thought.
can't even consider it because
I'm
he cares
begging
about the
you,
gang.
Arthur.
He's torn between the
I know
gang
Daddy
and
was
Mary, and he always puts him.
kind to you,
He always puts the
but
gang
surely
first.
you
He
cannot
never
hate
puts
a man
himself
for the
first, and
sin of loving his
that's
daughter
what makes him a hero.
and wanting better for her than
And me?
the choices you
What
make.
choice did
But I
have?
like how for a
Did I
moment he
ever have?
considers
Oh,
it,
I know.
cutting and running.
You had to live by your code. But your
Can't.
code is
Can't just yet.
well, it's not
until he
right.
takes care of
Has your way been right, Mary?
his people.
With you? And Jamie joining a bunch
Which
of
technically
crazies?
is Dutch's
And hypocritical
responsibility,
daddy with
but
his drinking and whoring
Dutch has
and
dropped the
gambling?
ball and
Huh?
gone
Is that what
crazy.
pure life has gotten you? Begging me for help?
Oh, Arthur, be kind to me. Please.
Sorry.
I should have
Mr.
asked
Matty asks,
someone
would you
else.
consider doing a gang member weapons video like you did with the horses? That's a great idea. Think about it. I'll consider it. YouTube is really
Arthur,
weird. YouTube and the algorithm are weird about guns
Arthur.
and
were so very
even
young.
video game guns.
Think how different life could have been.
They don't really get promoted. They
It all seems so.
So I don't know.
Go
Maybe.
far away now.
Will you help me try to save Daddy?
Come along, Dan. Where are we going? What's the old lovable patriarch been up to now?
Oh, Arthur, you know sarcasm.
Oh, Arthur.
You. He's been gambling and drinking and other things.
Oh, the filthy rotter. Where can we find him?
He said he was going down.
Frodo
to the
Swaggin, what
Railroad
historical time
stables.
period do you teach, or
Coming
is
out
it
of horse.
all
It was
history?
down by the water in
All
the
history,
warehouse
all the
district
time.
near the train yard.
Come on, then.
Don't be a pompous ass, Arthur. It doesn't suit you.
Oh, should I leave that to Daddy?
Leave Daddy alone. He suffers enough.
Well, I suppose I can take some consolation in that.
No, Arthur. I should have ran away with you years ago.
Well, you wouldn't.
No, I didn't. But, well, I don't know.
Took a long
go
time
in
for
and
me to
see
warm
what
up
kind
to
of a
Mary,
state he's in.
but I am very sentimental about her now.
Sure. I'll wait here. Good luck.
And here comes the Can't Stand Here
Need any help?
Very
cutscene, which
funny.
I've always enjoyed, and we made a short out of it, which did quite well. I have mastered the
What, in
the
street?
short algorithm.
Yes, in the
I know how to do that now.
Is it your street?
Frodo Swaggin says, depends on the class, but we finished a unit on the Civil War, loved the Civil War last semester,
Just get
and
outta
started on the Industrial Revolution after Christmas break.
Listen, partner. I'm waiting on a lady.
Yeah, I just read a book, The Battle Cry of Freedom, on the Civil War. I
wasn't
can't
waiting
tell
on
you,
this lady.
I'll tell you, I can't recall the name.
Already.
I'm going to look it up for you.
Continue to irritate me.
George Frederick Root.
I make my apologies to the lady.
Enjoyed that.
Oh, I didn't mean nothing.
Frodo Swaggin says, as for the video request, you could
Oh, wait, right.
title it something like Gang Member Style and add the weapon as a talking point, but not as a tag. Yeah, it's like PewDiePie. You know, that's why he said, that's the origin of his name.
You head home. I
Is
insist upon it.
the algorithm doesn't promote any kind of Second Amendment content.
Still as charming as ever, I see.
Oh, Arthur, he's up to no good. We better follow him.
Okay.
I don't know. I might do it. It'd be fun. I like the idea. We can take a closer look in photo mode.
He went around the corner. Wait, Arthur.
Not sure why we included this. It's not technically a cutscene. I'm gonna blame Sadie. I was distracted by the dog.
Hold on.
You can see why he has such a high opinion of himself. We'll just follow the smell.
Arthur, come on. He just went between those crates.
You know, the Revolutionary War flag, Frodo, the Betsy Ross flag. I was thinking of getting one for the background here. They have tea-stained ones that kind of look like battle flags, vintage battle flags on Amazon. I thought that would look cool. Don't necessarily want to make a statement, but I like how cool it looks.
I don't think so.
Frodo Swaggin says, as for the video request, you could title it something like... Oh, you said that already. Sorry. Metro Edits says, nice shirt. Yes, we are Team PS4 on this channel. Greetings, Metro. Happy Sunday. Hanging out with Arthur and Mary in Chapter 4.
You know, this is kind of fun.
He'll hear you. You could have cleaned yourself up a bit.
I didn't realize I was here to impress anyone.
Every time I put on this shirt, I say PlayStation, and
He just went left down that alleyway.
Sadie's come to expect it now.
Let's go find out.
Serena says, hi, Metro.
Don't say I never show you a good time.
I'm just glad you're here.
And Metro Edit says, what's up, chat? Serena, what's a sausage roll? I'm going to look that up. Sausage roll. A sausage roll is a savory dish popular in current and former Commonwealth nations. To quote Wikipedia, consisting of sausage meat wrapped in puff pastry. Oh, wow. Yeah, I would love that.
Yes.
Okay.
Here's the money.
Have you had a corn dog, Serena? That's the American equivalent. That's a hot dog deep fried in a in like a cornmeal batter.
No, thank you. I've heard what happens to folks who take loans from you.
It's not his to sell.
No, it's just a brooch. At least he didn't get himself killed.
You don't understand. Mother left it to me. You sold my mother's brooch? How could you?
You!
That's theft.
Oh, speaking of thieves, I see you found your outlaw again.
Hello, sir. Have you been well?
Daddy, how could you?
Mary, wait here. I'll go get the brooch.
Don't hurt anyone, Arthur.
Don't hurt anyone, Arthur. Yeah. Regrettably, Arthur does enjoy hurting. Metro Edits, have you ever declined Mary? Yeah, we did a speed run to the epilogue for Marston Mondays. For that Marston Mondays playthrough, and I declined Mary. Both times. David V says, pigs in a blanket. Yes. Serena, pigs in a blanket are sausage wrapped in pancakes. I've had sausage wrapped. I've had pigs in a blanket and of course corn dogs, but now I want to have a sausage roll.
Thank you.
Because who doesn't love puff pastry?
Got you your brooch back.
I won't ask.
Probably best not.
Hey. What are you doing now? Right this moment.
And we did not decline in this playthrough, of course.
Well, I was
Wondering if you wanted to do something.
because it has one of my favorite moments
Head to the theater.
after
perhaps.
after the date, which is coming up.
Theater? Me? Sure, why not?
It'll be fun.
However, in real
Arthur.
life,
Let's go to the
I've been in this situation before, and I will always decline.
It's the normal business of life.
I can't be friends with exes. That's not possible for me.
Oh, I've missed
Maybe
you.
I'm not mature enough,
You're an idiot. But you'll
but
always
I
be
know
my
I know who I am now, and I can't do it. Won't do it.
Ain't always fair with me.
If I was fair with you and a good person, I'd have had you hanged a long time ago.
Also, from bitter experience, I've learned getting back together with an ex,
shut up and
you get to
act
the
like a
good parts
gentleman.
faster,
try to
and you get to the
once
bad
in your
parts
brainless life.
even faster.
not
There's
a
a
very
reason you
nice
broke
woman,
up, and whatever that reason is,
company I keep.
you will be
No, it's quite
reminded
dreadful, isn't it?
almost immediately.
Sort of beautiful.
But I love how beautiful this theater
gaudy
looks
and tasteless
architecturally. I love the architecture of Saint Denis.
Thank you.
This kind of French Rococo
I'm sure.
style.
You silly man. Come on. Let's go find our seats. All right.
David, you're making meatball sandwiches. You should also make Italian sausage sandwiches.
Quite ridiculous, but somehow very amusing.
Sure.
Here comes the moment where Mary asks him to run away,
My life.
and he
wasn't
considers it
supposed to-
for a second and tries to compromise.
Is it
Metro
too late
Edit
for
says
us,
you should do a
Arthur?
tutorial on how to make that Arthur outfit. We have one on the channel. I call it the Super Antonio, the Super Arthur outfit. Suppose we could do it again. Though in the live stream Free Roam Fridays, we've kind of moved on to Mr. Pearson's rabbit skin coat. Odog says, good idea for a video, Metro. Yes, it is.
But I've got some people I need to take care of.
We have it. We have over 2,100 videos on the channel, which is an outrageous sentence that I never thought I'd say in my life. Most of those videos, I would say at least 10% of them are shorts, though. However, Odog says, there's an old vid, but it's old. Odog says, and he doesn't use the old vest. No, we've, just because the rabbit skin coat is so rare, I decided to focus on an Arthur playthrough with that, as opposed to the grizzly, the grizzly coat. David says, menu has changed to chicken tacos. You know, honestly, I can't remember the last time I've had chicken. Mostly beef lately. And on to Rains Falls we go. And shrimp.
There's a foreman.
And
His name is
salmon.
Danbury. There's a file
She
in the
likes
office
chicken.
above the refinery room. It's that window with the blind drawn up.
I see it.
If the files are as incriminating as we believe, Mr. Cornwall's men will.
Serena
destroy
says,
them
oh,
to
okay, thank you, Antonio. It's nice to do the robbery with Charles. Yeah, look on eBay for a used copy of the Ultimate Edition.
You got the money?
Yes.
And I'm sure you can find one cheap.
You could crawl under the fence or hide in a wagon. They keep rolling.
Cheap as chips, as your colonial masters in the UK probably say.
This had nothing to do with you.
Frodo Swaggin says an Arthur outfit viewer show would be cool too. Yeah, we tried that, an Arthur fashion show in the early days. Maybe we'll do that at 20K. Metro Edit says the Pearson denim jacket is so hard to get. After an hour, I just gave up. Yeah, I mean, it takes a while. It looks easy on the channel through the magic of editing, but it's not. It involves a lot of saves and reloads, and just a lot of waiting for him. Waiting for the correct sequence. He needs to be in that location. The stew pot has to be to his left. He needs to be holding a beer and whistling. And it will only happen, I would say, between noon and... It only happens in the afternoon between perhaps noon and 3. But it's worth it. I mean, it's a cool jacket. I'd wear it in real life.
You must be Danbury. Quieten yourself, friend. This won't take long.
He slides down. Hey, fellas.
Weapons on the ground and hands in the air. Easy now, fellas. Now, we won't tell you again. I thought you wasn't getting involved.
Thought you were gonna enter and leave silently.
Thank you. You saved my life.
Thank you. I hope. Well, I don't know what I hope. But who knows? Maybe these will be of some use.
Dutch adopts Rains Falls, or tries to, the same way that he adopted Arthur and John. Serena says, "Love Arthur. Arthur's hat. My Arthur has the same hat." Good, Serena. And he should, as the special correspondent for this channel. I really love that your Lady in Red online has a variation of the Civil War Hardy hat.
Want to fit in so well that no one will realize.
Frodo Swaggin says, "A question on the Pearson coat. Is there a way to get the visual glitch to go away?" No, not to my knowledge. That's just part of the charm for me.
I'm afraid we require all patrons to hand over their guns.
Good time. The tables away.
And moving on to the riverboat.
Change clothes.
Okay.
You seem unsure.
Robbing a heavily armed riverboat without a gun tends to bring out the self-doubt in me.
These people are virtually idiots. This is
One thing I'll say about the Red Dead 1 playthrough is it will add another layer to Marston Mondays, because all of those locations that John explores on Marston Mondays are significant in Red Dead 1. Most of which I had no idea.
Evening. Not to worry. Welcome to the game, Mr. Callahan. Okay, gentlemen.
Serena says, "I always help Mary. Don't know if I can not help her. Does it make a difference in the gameplay?" Not really. It just makes it just makes the game go slightly faster. And it's less emotional.
Yes, it is.
You'll still get that letter in chapter 6 where she returns the ring.
Likewise, Mr. Clive.
And she'll still visit Arthur's grave, but you have to do the Merry missions, in my mind. It's essential to Arthur's character and his story.
Is that you done? Done. Bust. Or you got something else to play with?
David V says, "That's my chapter 3 hat, all blue Union outfit in Rhodes." And Serena says, "Nice, David."
No offense. Sit your hillbilly ass down.
David's wearing blue and Rhodes. He's making a statement.
Why? I got a watch.
Look at you.
An expensive one. Real fine. Swiss. A Reutlinger, no less. It's in the safe upstairs.
Yeah, my nephew, when he was, I would say like 8, he was fascinated by tanks. And he was playing tank video games and drawing tanks. And I bought him a book on World War II tanks, which he just loved. And at one point, he asked, "What's your favorite war?" Which, I had never really thought about. And so I said, and I didn't even really have to think about it. I said the Civil War, if we're talking about American history. And he, of course, loved World War II because of the tanks. And that's when I realized that how much I love the Civil War and how much I know about the Civil War that I've just picked up organically without realizing. Serena says, I want to change my character online. Had her for ages. People like my character. I don't know. It costs money to change my character. Yeah, I don't think you can change anymore, Serena, because it's essential to your channel. It's part of your channel. I personally, if I were to give you advice, which I never do because people never follow advice, I would say stay with your same character. Frodo Swaggin says, unless you start another account and you can have a different character there. Frodo Swaggin says, I always keep the watch from the boat mission and equip it, and it transfers to John too. Yes, the Reutlinger. There's no reason to sell it.
Yes, it's a Reutlinger, all right.
It's like Jimmy Brooks's pen. It's essential.
Come on, let's get out of here.
It's an essential item. That would make a good video. Essential items you should keep in Red Dead Redemption 2. I'll make a note of that. I like that.
Oh, it's you.
I got his letter.
Mr. Arthur.
Sir?
Metro edits. If you reject Mary in Chapter 2, will she still send the letter in Chapter 4? Absolutely. And you do not have an opportunity. Well, you will. You have the opportunity to reject her again in Chapter 4, but she'll send you another letter in Chapter 6.
But with learning, why, in 50 years, man will put down his guns and start living a life of relentless purity.
Hear, hear.
Note the candlelight in the mayor's mansion, rather than gaslight or electricity.
How can I help?
You can't.
Even though electricity is available in Saint Denis.
That's the point. We've gone over this.
Violence is never right.
I agree with you. But it's not violence. It's the mere threat of violence.
Against whom?
Oh. Against Hector Fellow's worst nature. To convince him...
Also, Red Dead 1 had to be set in 1910 because that is the start of the Mexican Revolution, which I had to look up and which lasted from 1910 to 1920.
Because he doesn't like your heavy-handed approach.
Metro Edits says, yes, the Civil War is my favorite one to learn about. I love the Civil War. David V says, the War of the Roses. A little bit of English history. Didn't that one last for like 100 years?
So we are clear. I do not approve of this behavior.
Yeah, I'm not really interested in English history after the Romans leave.
What the hell do you want? Mr. Fellows, ain't it? Charity, sir. And an appeal to your better nature.
This is most impudent.
Oh, no, it's not most impudent. Trust me, buddy. I can get a whole lot more impudent, but this is a good cause for a wealthy man such as yourself. The chance to add some dignity to all that wealth.
Dignity?
By helping to
Frodo's
finance a library.
Frodo Swaggin says, check out the War of the Roses 1455 to 85 and the 3 Punic Wars. And he says, the same time, LOL. Serena says, it's yummy time, yummy, Antonio. I could eat 2 sausage rolls, LOL. Yeah, they look delicious. Pictures I saw on Wikipedia. Hanging out of a wagon, easily survivable, but I don't suppose this gentleman knows it. He's lived a soft life. Serena says, no, I haven't had a corn dog. Is that like a hot dog? Yes, it's a hot dog. It's a hot dog wrapped in a corn batter and deep fried. It's delicious. Have you had cornbread? It's kind of like hot dog with cornbread deep fried.
Waits your check, sir. Been a pleasure. There's a good man in there. Let him live a little more. Driver, hold up. As you were. Come on! Hello, mister.
Sister, my friend, Mr. Morgan.
Oh,
And now we get to be introduced to Sister Calderon.
Brother Dorkins told me about the wonderful thing you did.
Oh, he talks a lot of nonsense. No offense.
None taken.
Who is
None taken at all.
absolutely essential to
Kids that'll work.
Arthur's redemption arc in Red Dead Redemption 2. Serena says, or David says, on a plate cut in half with chili beans on top. Yeah, I'd try that, David. Serena says, oh, okay, was wondering what with pigs in a blanket was, LOL. Sausage and pancakes. Metro Edit says, I've had mini and normal corn dogs. You know who's had mini corn dogs? This one right here. Ate it in one gulp. Absolutely loved it. I knew she would. What's not to like?
You didn't.
Oh, I did.
Oh, I hope the boy...
He's fine, physically. Mentally, he's a piece of work, but who am I to say?
Brother Dorkins was right about you. You
For
are
her
the most
Christmas feast,
wonderful
I
man.
described it to my sister who asked. I really should have photographed it and Instagrammed it,
Thank you.
and made a
You see,
short out of
it's
it,
a
but
thing, but
it didn't even occur to
my
me.
mother gave it
But
to me when I was
I
a
will
novice,
explain it to
shortly
you.
before she
The
passed.
base
You
was a
are the
waffle,
most
a blueberry waffle, and then we had, you know, her like hamburger fried rice, which she always has, which is just rice and hamburger and vegetables and eggs. And then on top of that was chopped ham, chopped turkey, chopped tri-tip, which is all
We've been doing well, making money.
which was all leftovers that I had from my Christmas dinner. And then on top of that was a little bit of applesauce and frozen blueberries. These are all things she loved. And then a gingerbread man, which, you know, a big one that I got from a local bakery. And I just put it in front of her, and she just looked at it for a minute, and then, you know, and then I told her, she always waits for me because I have trained her to, like, she can't eat until I give her permission to eat. It's just something I did to add more discipline in her life, because she was such a wild child when I got her. She was completely undisciplined, so she needed it. But now it's a routine that I have to tell her. And she just looked at it. When she had permission, she ate the gingerbread man first. She ate the head. She just bit off the head, and she just chowed through it. It was the sweetest and funniest moment. Frodo Swaggin says, I'd say the beef Wellington, the corn dog, pigs in a blanket, the hot pocket, and the Pop-Tart are all in the Wellington family. Yes, I would agree with you, Frodo. Beef Wellington. I've never had that, but I've seen Gordon Ramsay make it, and it looks delicious. Metro Edit says Tahiti and has mango emoticons. This one likes mangoes. I like mangoes too. But, you know, I don't live and die for mangoes. Metro Edit says, I just had a hot pocket for dinner. Serena says, yes, I know, David. Australia. I haven't had Hot Pockets and Pop-Tarts in a long time. I used to take... I had a friend who went camping, and when we went camping, we'd take Pop-Tarts. And Hot Pockets, probably not since high school. Serena says, is Hot Pocket like pizza? It's kind of like a calzone, but it has all different flavors inside, ham and cheese and stuff. And I'm sure they have Hot Pockets in Australia. They probably call it something else, like Dingery-Doo Dads.
Shut up, Arthur. He set us up.
David says, we went to Hell's Kitchen and tried it. It was okay. Hell's Kitchen is Gordon Ramsay's restaurant, David? David said, a little too rare for my taste. I'm looking it up for you, Serena. Hot Pockets, Australia.
So, what are we doing next, Dutch?
It's not available in Australia. My mistake. But there's something called Pizza Pockets.
Hosea agrees. Even after that, especially after that.
And another question is, does Singapore sell Hot Pockets? And yes, they do.
Come on, I'm taking you back to camp.
No, Pizza Pockets are only available in Canada. I don't know what they have for you that is Hot Pocket related in Australia, Serena. It's sort of like a Pop-Tart, but thicker and savory. David says, yes, Gordon's place.
Come in.
Where's what's-his-name?
Jean-Marc, he's a little histrionic.
And back to the mayor's we go.
Mouth and say things that aren't true to those vulgar Puritans at the newspaper. Well, perhaps true, but not.
That his TV show is called Hell's Kitchen.
Look,
so that's a great name for a restaurant. Beautiful tie-in.
This is magnificent. We'll bring this city back to life if it kills me, and it probably shall.
Yes.
I have 2 copies of this book. This is an old field guide. Might be of some interest to you, maybe not. But please have it. It's worth quite a bit.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Listen, Mr. Arthur, I'm sorry to ask this of you. You've done so much, but
what?
Jean-Marc, I'm afraid he's going to open his mouth and say things.
How do you mean?
Saying nasty things about the work that we have done together, for example.
Is that my business?
Oh, no. Of course not. He also found out some unsettling news about you. It's all scurrilous lies, of course. But
David says it was a one-time experience, too pricey.
I do not talk about.
Yeah, you know, but when you've got the opportunity and you can afford it, you have to do it just to see what it's like. That's been my experience.
Thank you, Arthur.
That's why I tried frog legs, just to say I had.
Why you want to go and say those awful things about me, buddy?
Does not taste like chicken. It tasted more like snake, which I've also tried just to see what it was like. Shark, however, tiburon, is absolutely delicious. I had shark tacos, David, in Mexico City, and they were the most delicious tacos I've ever had in my entire life. Frodo Swaggin says, Hell's Kitchen, also a neighborhood in Manhattan, New York. Yes, indeed.
We've been so... I promised.
That's where the Daredevil, I believe, lurks.
You see, the problem is
and the Kingpin.
Will destroy us all.
Sure.
And your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Yes. David said, daughter wanted to do it for her birthday. Yes, see? So you got to do it.
We will strive to improve the city's moral backbone by any means available to us.
Within reason, yes.
Yes.
I was thinking about the Kingpin because I guess he's the villain in Echo, which is getting a lot of bad reviews.
Because it's better to get something done than nothing at all.
But in the Netflix special or the Netflix series, the last time I had Netflix, he was a great villain. He was always one of my favorite Marvel villains in the comic book with Spider-Man. But Vincent D'Onofrio had a fantastic portrayal of the Kingpin. If you have Netflix. David says Sleepers was supposed to be in that neighborhood. Not sure what Sleepers is. A TV show? Or a movie? Or an alien life form that puts people to sleep? Perhaps it was a TV show about sleeping.
I am afraid that you must kill him.
Sadie would watch that. She's really enjoying.
I will miss you. I really shall.
Kill him.
Metro Edit says Marvel fell off after Avengers Endgame. Who agrees? I agree. I certainly agree. I completely checked out.
Yeah, but you're running your mouth about me, buddy. And him.
I had such high hopes when Disney bought that franchise. And there was a little spike in their stock price, but I fully expected the stock price to double, certainly to split, and they have completely ruined that franchise, and also the Galaxy Far, Far Away. But let's not talk about that. Serena says, makes me smile every time Antonio says, on Fridays we free roam, or on Mondays we Marston, LOL. Well, I do love making you smile, Serena, but regrettably, we are going to be focused on the Red Dead 1 playthrough for the time being for the live streams. So Fridays, pre-run Fridays and Marston Mondays have been temporarily suspended.
You want to leave this place?
Metro Edit says maybe Deadpool 3 can save Marvel. Maybe, I don't know.
This is the last job that we are ever going to
They're going in a completely different direction that I'm not interested in following. Fortunately, I have all those movies on Blu-ray. And I haven't watched them all the way through. I mean, I have on Blu-ray, but usually I just watch all 3 Iron Mans. I watch Doctor Strange. I love the first Doctor Strange.
You'll damn us all.
Frodo Swaggin says, well, it's time I call it a night. Always happy to visit and view. Good night, everyone. Frodo, I appreciate you hanging out with us. It's great to know that you are a history teacher. It's great to know something else we can talk about on the channel. Drop by anytime. We'll be back on Monday with the Guarma cutscene commentary. And you have a great week. And David says, and further on down the trail.
Can I call in that favor?
What do you need?
And the way he used to say Javier. Yeah, that's the French pronunciation instead of Javier.
We need to make a
Javier. Yeah.
We were hoping you could row us in quietly one evening.
Metro edits. Also, Star Wars fell off after Revenge of the Sith.
We'll pay you for your trouble.
Though I did love Rogue One. That's probably my favorite of the Disney Star Wars movies. Serena says, okay, Antonio, I'll keep my character. Yes, I have another account. Don't use it as much online. I'm not as ranked up as my main character. Yeah, I don't think you should change your main character for the channel. But if you want to start your second account, you could start your second character there and put her on. And then do a taste test between the two. See which one performs better. Which one your viewers like more. And stick with that one. And Serena says, good night, Frodo. Yeah, Frodo, you have a great week. Appreciate you being here. Happy Sunday, friend.
Good man. All right, let's get back to the dock. Yes, please, let's go.
O-Dog says, Star Wars series have been good. Yeah, I've heard good things about especially The Mandalorian, but I don't have Disney Plus, so I haven't really watched. Mando, Baby Yoda. Isn't there going to be a Baby Yoda movie that's coming next? Metro Edits has the sequels are sad emoticon, or that's a barf emoticon.
Sorry, Jules. Guess all them stories was true. Big and mad. That's unusual. Normally the little ones are angry. Big ones is lazy.
Personally, I'm more of a Star Trek guy.
Kind of reminds me of you.
But that's another franchise that has not withstood the test of time. Deep Space Nine is probably one of my favorite TV shows of all time.
Can we get some help? Jules been bitten.
Oh my God.
There's a monster out here.
O-Dog continues on Star Wars. Well, like it or not, they're here. Yes, they are. This is what we have.
Thank you. Both of you.
Metro Edit says, Book of Boba Fett fell off. It could have been better. Yeah, really haven't been watching the modern Star Wars, but I don't really watch modern TV or movies. Just not happy. And I have a very extensive DVD and Blu-ray collection, and I'm more than happy just to watch the old shows on Amazon Prime and Tubi.
Be safe. You got monsters out here. Well.
Arthur, there you are. Come on.
David says, have to agree with you there, Metro. Yes, I assume we are all of similar viewpoints on this channel. even though we don't really talk about it
Hey, Bill,
on this
you
channel.
were a sharpshooter in the cavalry, weren't you? What? When we get there, maybe you could help with the suppression.
I don't want to get into it. I don't want to I don't want to.
Oh, that's right. What was it?
I hate that word divisive, but I hate
And I fought well.
how this culture has become a you versus them,
Them Indians were
and how the algorithm promotes it.
Watch it.
Odog says, not sure what happened there. Wasn't the strongest, but I enjoyed.
Dutch, I saw things out
I
there.
don't doubt you saw things, Bill, but your tiny little mind was too small to comprehend what you saw.
Serena says, no, I don't think I've had corn dogs or cornbread. Well, they're just like hot dogs. They're the closest thing I think that Americans have to sausage rolls.
I'm sorry I wasted my life trying to teach you boys. Love you.
You can pick up that gun if you want.
No, name your price. Name your price. Every man have a price. Okay. No, I surrender. Should we kill him?
John clocks him. That's for Jack, I'm sure.
Bill, you help. Got him? Oh, come on, Lenny. All right, come on. Let's get out of here.
Yep.
Oh, hey, big man. We gonna ransom you or what?
Metro Ed says, Super Antonio, what's your favorite movie? I can't give you one off the top of my head. You know, I love Alfred Hitchcock. I love the movies of Alfred Hitchcock. I love Quentin Tarantino. Off the top of my head, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, The Hateful Eight, John Carpenter's The Thing, John Carpenter's Escape from New York, Blade Runner, which we've already mentioned, Rear Window by Alfred Hitchcock, Vertigo by Alfred Hitchcock, The Way of the Dragon, which we just watched on movie night this Saturday. Let's see, Kill Bill, of course, Pulp Fiction. There's just too many. I can't give you one. However, I usually watch movies that I enjoy or come close to being my favorite movie on Saturdays when we do our live movie commentary. I love movies. Metro Ed says Rango is mine. That's with Johnny Depp, I believe. I prefer live action movies. I don't really watch that many animated films, even though technically we are watching an animated film right now.
Jesus. Your philosophy books,
And Dutch feeds Angelo Bronte to the Gators.
part that covers
And
weakness.
the gang is shocked.
That part. I don't know. Well, I do.
The Inspector Clouseau series with
I know it.
Peter Sellers, the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
I figure
Yeah,
it might
there's
as
too
well.
many just to list one. Humphrey Bogart, The Maltese Falcon, Casablanca. Love Humphrey Bogart. Gone with the Wind. Clint Eastwood, of course. Yeah, too many. I know a lot about movies. I know probably more about movies than I do the Civil War, and certainly this game. Serena says, I have a video in my gallery of Red Dead Online part of the Snow DLC. That's it. No more Snow videos. LOL. I still do Snow videos.
There's no more than one armed guard.
Yeah, I love the Snow in Red Dead Online.
It's a city. There are police, but as far as we can tell, the patrols
Serena
will all
says,
be
at
going
Coulter.
this way when Abigail and
Metro
I
Edis
go
says
to
the good, the bad, and the ugly is up there. Yeah. I love Sergio Leone and that Ennio Morricone soundtrack. David says the Sons of Katie Elder, A Knight's Tale, and Draft Day.
long as we move fast.
Draft Day is a football movie, I believe.
Doing it in the day with a distraction. That's what Jose is saying. It's as good a plan as any.
I think I agree.
What's that baseball movie with Kevin Costner and Rene Russo?
Can't do that silently.
I bet you like that movie.
It's off far easier.
I know. I'm just making sure.
Every plan is a
I'm
good
looking it
plan
up.
if we
Kevin
execute it
Costner,
properly.
baseball.
Every problem we had was because we did not execute.
Field of Dreams, but that's not the one I'm thinking about. High Plains Drifter, David says yes. Major League. That's what it's called.
Everyone, get ready. Look smart. Travel light.
No, that's not it.
Arthur? Sure. So, we rob ourselves a bank, and within 6 weeks we're living life anew in a tropical idyll, spending the last of our days as banana farmers.
Tin Cup.
Get out of this godforsaken place and go rob ourselves a bank!
Okay, that's a golf movie. David says Kevin is in Draft Day.
Calmly does it, fellas. Act normal.
Is High Plains Drifter available? It is buy or rent.
There's Bill. Let's hitch up here.
And we are moving on to the infamous and notorious bank robbery. Regrettably, we're going to see one of the most painful cutscenes in Chapter 4, if not the game.
Someone must have squealed. Never should have gone
David says also Chadwick Boseman
Let my friend go.
in Draft Day.
Or folks, they are gonna get shot unnecessarily.
Your friend? Why would I do that?
Come on, Milton.
It's over. No more bargains.
Dutch
no
still
more
trying to
deals.
talk his way out.
Mr. Milton,
Metro says, all right, I'm going to head out. Metro, appreciate you being here.
a deal.
I've given you
This is an absolutely appropriate time to head out. Nobody wants to watch this part. You have a great week, Metro. It was nice chatting with you. Happy Sunday.
God damn it! There's your deal, Dutch.
And that's the end of Dutch. He snaps. And an excellent opportunity for Micah. I do enjoy shooting from up there on the roof.
Killed? Arrested. I couldn't help. Well, we better go. We'll be
Lenny's death, fortunately, is not a cutscene.
Find a way across the roof, so if you'll cover us.
Sure. Go on.
So we don't have to worry about it. We move directly onto the abandoned hotel room that they can hide in until dark.
Nothing like that. What now?
I don't know. I don't. This whole town is filled with cops.
David says, see ya, Metro. And Serena says, bye, Metro. Take care, friend.
Camp, they're gonna get every last one of us. I know they're gonna be watching the roads.
Speaking of friends, Marco has been very active in the comments. He always makes an effort to
We stay here
to comment on every live stream, which I appreciate. I should tell him. But it does seem as if he's going through a hard time right now.
That's all I got. We leave. We lie low.
Which is regrettable.
Come back for the rest.
There's dumb Micah.
I'm guessing.
Smart Charles.
We die out there right now.
And Arthur, if you notice, is looking a little peaky.
I mean, look at us.
Interesting, the diagnosis is not in chapter 4, it's in chapter 6. Completely forgot. I assumed it was in chapter 4 just because it's in Saint Denis and I associate it with Saint Denis.
See that? Sure.
Again, we're heading over to Guarma. First playthrough in Guarma. I thought we lost everything. I was worried about the horse. I thought we would have to start over, get all our guns and money back.
What now? Well, at least we got some gold.
David, were you watching Chadwick Boseman in Fear the Walking Dead? That's where he got on my radar. I watched, I believe, the first 2 seasons of Fear the Walking Dead before I checked out.
Guess I'm gonna introduce myself to the captain, give him some of this gold to secure his silence, and find out where we're heading. How do I look?
Like a shifty, no-good killer on the run from the law. Ain't that
Dutch, assuming he can talk his way out of any situation. Again, the old Dutch charm, which isn't really working in 1899. Hasn't really worked after Blackwater. Doesn't technically work for the entire, for all of story mode. You just hear about the old Dutch charm. Don't really experience it.
A fine fella, a New Englander from the Cape.
A couple
The rest
speeches.
of the ship is Frenchmen. They're heading down to the islands, taking some Pennsylvania coal.
I love the light in Guarma.
Apparently, we're gonna be able to slip ashore in northern Cuba in a couple of days.
That's so.
Apparently.
What are we gonna do?
And here we go. I totally did not expect first playthrough.
Hurry back, gather up the rest of our
I had no idea this was
At least we
coming.
got some money now. Money and loyalty. With that, you
A
can do
shipwreck.
whatever you
And to be perfectly honest, I was not
like Colonel Waxman on a job.
I was not happy with this location. I guess we'll talk about it a little bit more tomorrow. And it's interesting how, from the perspective of playing Red Dead 1, that is, it kind of echoes and bookends and is a prelude to John's adventures in Mexico. What Arthur experiences in Guarma. To preview. However, I didn't like it because it didn't seem Western to me. I wanted to be in the West. I wanted to be riding horses and shooting things. I didn't want to be involved in a revolution. I wonder if at some point Red Dead Redemption was going to be entitled Red Dead Revolution, because both Red Dead 1 and 2 have these kind of side events, side themes of revolution and politics. And workers' uprising. And dictators and tyrants. This is a lovely cutscene. I was worried about taking control. Didn't know what to do. Where are we going to swim to? Had no idea. I'm very grateful that first playthrough that the cutscene just drops us on Guarma. Mars says, how many times have you played the story? Well, greetings, Mars. I appreciate you being here. That's an interesting question. And my answer is, I have no idea. I've been playing since game release. We have one full game commentary on this channel. So I played it at least once all the way through for the channel. And I played it enough to never want to finish the story again. I don't want to play through past chapter 4 perhaps. And that's something I decided when I was finishing the epilogue for this channel, for the full game commentary. It's too emotionally painful for me. Though pound for pound, I will admit that the best missions in the game are in Chapter 6. Technically the best missions. The most challenging, the most fun, the most exciting. They're all in Chapter 6. But I don't want to go there anymore. I don't want to get there. It's too painful for me to get there emotionally. And Mars says, hello. Hello to you, friend. Appreciate you being here. Happy Sunday. We're doing the cutscene commentary, and regrettably, you have come to the end of Chapter 4. We will be doing Chapter 5 tomorrow.
I'm Super
instead of
Antonio.
Marston Mondays. Appreciate you being here, friends. Shout out to the mods, Odog, David, Serena. Always happy to have you in the chat. Metro, he's gone, but it's good to talk to you. Miko, if you're still here, shout out to the Philippines. I will figure out what movie we're going to watch on Saturday, and then David, the next Saturday, we will watch Commando with your friend Arnold and your ex-governor, as I recall. Let's see. And then we shall be working on we'll finish off the cutscene commentaries. Friday we will continue the Red Dead 1 live stream. Mars says, have a good night, y'all. Odog has the Odog with the peace emoticons. Serena says, it's Australia Day next Friday, the 26th of January. Happy Australia Day, Serena. If I see you on Friday, I'll definitely tell you. David says, ta-ta for now, friends. Stay safe and healthy. You too, David. All of y'all have a great week. Hopefully, we shall